Hey, what's up guys? Dave here with Birdie Vibes Disc Golf. In this video, we're going to be talking about what do all of these numbers on a disc even mean, and what does it mean to your disc golf game coming up. So when you're getting started in disc golf, obviously you want to buy tons of discs that you can put into your bag and improve your scores. A lot of times you might be blindly going into this because you don't necessarily understand what all of the numbers on a disc actually mean. Like 7, 6, minus 3, 1, what is that all about? But these numbers are actually very important to how the disc flies and how you can play specific courses and specific shots. Now, please don't mind my yellow fingernails while I talk about this. My daughter wanted to paint my nails this morning, and here we are. So when I was starting, I was also perplexed by all of these numbers and what they actually meant to a disc, and I figured out the easiest way for me to remember all of this was how the disc actually flies. Let me explain that. Typically, a disc flies straight out of your hand, has a slight right turn at times, and then a left fade at the end of the shot. If you're getting a disc that just goes left and doesn't have a right hand turn, it just goes left at the end. These numbers tell you what that is going to do. So I think of it as the form of the shot progresses, and as that disc flies through the air, those numbers reveal themselves in the flight path. Let me put a flight path up for you to better understand this. So as you can see, off of the throw, it goes straight and then has a right hand turn and a small left fade. This shot was thrown with my Discraft Heat. You can see my full review of the Discraft Heat right here on this card. But for this, it has a 9, 6, -3, 1 rating system on these numbers. Now, this means that straight out of my hand, it has a speed of 9. The first number that you see is the speed of the disc and how fast your arm has to be going to get the disc to fly as it is intended to fly. So speed is your first number. Your glide is your second number. That's a 6 on this disc. And the glide is just how far that disc is going to keep going and going and going in the air. Sometimes you don't want a huge glide on a disc. Other times you want it to go forever and be the longest shot you've ever thrown. Third number is the third piece of action on that throw. On this disc, it is a -3. So a minus is going to be how far that disc is actually turning on to the right. So a right-hand turn, a turn, is the third number. So how far right that's going to turn out on the disc. And then your last number is the fade on this disc. It is a 1, so it's going to have a slight fade to the left as the finishing act of the flight. So as the flight goes out of your hand, you have speed on how it exits your hand, your glide on how far it's going to go out into the hole that you're playing, a right-hand turn of a turn, and then a left-hand fade at the end. So your numbers correlate with how the disc flies in that order. Now, different discs have different numbers. For example, this is a 9, 6, -3, 1, so this is a driver. This is also a control driver, but it is a 7, 6, -3, 1. So pretty similar. The only thing that's different is the speed that your arm has to be going to get this disc doing what it needs to do versus this one. Now, let's look at completely different numbers. And yes, this is a subtle hint to get you to subscribe to this channel. I would really appreciate it if you did. And I did draw this myself. It's beautiful artwork. This disc is a Mako 3. You can watch my full review of the Mako 3 with this card showing up on your screen. But this disc is a 5-5-0-0, meaning that it is a speed of 5, a glide of 5, a turn of 0, and a fade of 0. As discs get beat in and used a lot, this disc is probably my most used disc in my bag, it starts to adjust a little bit. Sometimes discs get more flippier, meaning that they flip up and turn a little bit harder. or they start to fade a little bit more. This disc really should be like a 5501 for me now because it does have a slight fade at the end of the flight path. So just remember that. While numbers are a great guide for you to follow with your discs, over time they can adjust and change, but your practice with your discs allows you to understand the numbers. And what I like to do as they tend to change is just write the new numbers down underneath so that I know, hey, this now has a little bit slight of a fade at the end of the shot. I hope this video helped you out a lot with understanding what these numbers actually mean, and I hope it really benefits you next time you go out and play the course. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click or tap this video that's really going to help you out and lower your scores too.